Here we have a 2001 Ford Ranger, and wouldn't you know it, somehow this little guy in here broke off of right there and is kind of rattling around in there, and you know, basically a permanent failure of the headlight. I can't tell from looking at it whether these are aftermarket for sure, kind of has that vibe, but not positive. You can see here, this is where it's supposed to be, sits up top. But anyway, we are going to replace the entire headlight. This would be if they're oxidized or in this case broken. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is pop the hood and then go to whichever side you're replacing and take these little screws out. Alright, we got these three out, and then just for convenience we're going to run these all the way out and take this piece off too as well. Alright, now to get the light itself out, it's really not too bad. Basically, you come under here and pull up on these little clips right here, and you'll know you're kind of at the right spot. If you look back behind here, you can see where there's a hole that passes through, and this becomes, you know, obviously pretty loose. So we'll just kind of wiggle our way loose here. There we go. I'm going to twist out the bulbs instead of unclipping them. So what I have here is two Dorman brand headlights. They're not Ford ones obviously, but they're usually pretty decent. So if you want the ones that are just like this, go ahead and hit me up in the link. Otherwise, get whatever you want. Alright, so you can see, obviously these are not, you know, Ford replacement ones, but they already have bulbs in them, so I'm going to unhook the bulbs that are, you know, still hooked to the truck, and I'll clip them in right here. You want this adjuster to be facing up, so we're just going to kind of get this tweaked around here, like that, the adjuster facing up, and then we'll see about all these other little pieces here, but looks like it should work just fine. So something to watch for is once these connectors get enough, you know, time and heat on them, they get pretty brittle. So basically, to get this one loose, you need to push in right here, and then run the little tab. And then if you when you get it plugged in, then you push this thing back. So anyway, we'll get the new ones hooked up. You can see that just by touching this one, this little clip broke off. So we're just gonna have to make sure that's on there. About as good as we can get. We may end up doing some zip ties or something like that. Just kind of one of those deals when you have a 20-year-old truck. Okay, so you see this white little star shape right here? You want to clock that so that the little, you know, the crotch of the star matches up with this little triangle right here. You want that to sit back in there really nice. And then aside from that, you just want to make sure your adjusting screw is facing up. Okay, so I started with this one over here. You can see that white part goes through, and then the little clip engages it so it can't pull out. There's like a little slot in there. So start with this one side, and then you can work over to the double side, which is the outbound side. All right, so we got both of our clips fully engaged. They both go down. They go down until they actually like bottom out. You'll feel them like actually go all the way. Same deal here. It actually went down and stops. And then if you look around the back, you should be able to see, you know, that is well engaged. You can see that little lip that is coming up. That's the spring portion of that little bracket. And then over here, I don't know if I'll be able to see it. You can see that black part is fully engaged through the bracket, and then way down there you can see the other one is actually fully engaged as well. So that's how you know you did it right there. And then it's actually sitting, you know, sub flush of this guy right here. It's sitting down underneath there. Now we just have to get things adjusted. All right, so forward, this is the other headlight. I'm gonna just kind of show you how you adjust these. So basically, you'll turn this bolt right here, and that runs this thread back in, and that's how you adjust on this corner. On the lower corner here, you won't be able to, first of all, it doesn't have this screw on it, so you're gonna have to get down in here, and it has a hex end on it, like it would be a bolt that you could run with a socket, but we can't get a socket down in there, so you need this tool. This is a Lyle tool, I forget the part number, but anyway, what you do is you shove it down in here, so like you'd reach it down like that, and you actually get it onto there, like that, and then you can turn this and it ratchets depending on which direction you're going. So if you want to go the other way, you just flip it around and re-engage right here. So that's how you do that. And then this one's capped, so I'm assuming maybe they're hoping that you don't need to adjust it. If you do, just take the cap off, of course, and run it and do your thing. But maybe most of the adjustment just needs to be in these two, and that would be your vertical. You shouldn't really have to point it towards the ditch or away from the ditch. You know, you could do it with this pair. So anyway, I'm gonna wait till the evening to do that. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the other one in, same thing, just the other side, and we can deal with the adjustment here shortly. All right, so they're just generally a little bit low. The angle's about right. So if you turn loose here, you can see we are ever so slightly going up. And so I'm gonna bring them both up a little bit. This one might be backwards. Let's see here. So both loose goes up. So lefty is uppy. Anyway, we're gonna get this dialed in. But that's pretty much it. If we run out of travel here, if we bottom this out right here, then I'm gonna go and use the bottom one to get more travel here. So kind of counteract. And then if the angle was wrong, then we'll get down in here, but the angle's pretty good. They basically point out straight. So anyway, thanks for watching.